Zeke Marshall here. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing the cultural aspects of Saudi Arabia. I'm going to go a little bit more in depth into everything. I have played in Saudi Arabia for 3 years, and each year there's been changes to the Iranian culture. There were changes over the past 4 or 5 years. A lot that's happened in Saudi Arabia over the past 5 years. But in my last video, I talked about when I played in Pt2. That was when they were most strict. Now, this video is going to be a little bit controversial because I am going to go in a little bit of the politics. You're probably not going to be too happy, but this is something that Americans in general and people in this side of the world need to understand that there are different ways of living in other parts of the world than what they're used to. And I don't like the sentiment of where it's going right now, because we are inherently destroying the one thing that even gives us the right to say and speak out the way we do. Because over there, as you're going to find out, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. So let's move on. So when I first got there, as I said in my last video, which I'll have the link of the last video in the description below with the banner up top. Back when I was in Saudi Arabia, we were stuck in our apartments, basically. As I said in that video, we had a mall that we could go to. There was a mall, and we would frequent that mall when we needed to get anything that we needed. I mean, food, even some electronics, so a ton of electronics there, clothes. Really, it was a huge mall, so you have access to everything. You guys had a supermarket inside that mall. Now, this mall had a huge amusement park in it, and a lot of locals would go to this mall on their Fridays to just enjoy the time, to enjoy themselves. That's when that will lead into some of the issues you'll find about Saudi Arabia. I can call them issues, is new ways of living that I had to deal with. In this mall, we would go, like I said, we would go here every single day. So, but on Fridays, Thursdays and Fridays especially, there will be something called family time. And when it's family time, single men are not allowed in the mall. It's only men with women, and that's it. Single guys were not allowed. So what will end up happening is I will go across the street, I'll go to the mall, and there'll be security guards outside. And they'll look at me, and I'll try to go inside, and they'll say, no, family time. No, family time. I'm like, I need to get my food. They're like, no, family time. Can't come in. Some days, I'll just go back home and not eat. In other days, I would just force my way in anyway. Now, I made sure to, so I got clever, and so one of the things I decided to do was, I decided to meet the head security guard. Now, a lot of these guys were new, but I will meet the head security guard. And because I could vouch for myself by not getting anything in trouble, I go in, I get my food, I leave. I don't do anything else. I don't talk to anyone else. And since this time started happening, after about a month or two, they start finding out that I'm not here to talk and mess with people. I'm here to get my food and I leave. I don't talk to anyone. I don't say anything to anyone. People come to me, which is important. And I'll get into this video, which is important. So eventually he started letting me in. He started letting me in the mall. So when it would be family time, I would go find him and he'd just let me in. He'll let me in, I'll go upstairs, I'll get my food. Normally I get hounded by a lot of people because everyone's interested in me. Like, oh my God, that type of stuff will always happen. I waited, got my food, and I left. That's one of the major things. That's one of the things that you have to deal with when you're over there. You have family time. So of the one mall, because you have to think, movie theaters are banned. There are no movie theaters here. Social media was essentially banned too. Facebook was almost unheard of out there. They didn't really use Facebook out there. They used Snapchat. They're very big on Snapchat, but minus Snapchat, Instagram, no, they don't watch this on Instagram, especially the women. The women are very conservative. Some of them are afraid. I've met a number of them. I'm so friends with a few of them. Some of them are afraid to put themselves out there because their families find out, they will be in a hell of a lot of trouble. So they have to be very careful about what they put out there and what they can't put out there. Even though they want to be a little bit more open, they can't, especially back then. So because that is just one of the realities that they deal with every day over there, and one I ended up understanding. So when we go there, once again, they're covered. Women are all covered at all times when they're in public. For the most part, women have to be accompanied by a man. So that's either a brother. So sometimes, like in the mall, for instance, I'll see one brother with like 6 girls, and they can all go in along because they're accompanied by a brother, and then they'll just go out and have their fun. But to get in malls, get in certain places, those women must be accompanied by somebody. Once again, like I said, they are fully covered. And the burqa, which is what everyone talks about, is, from what I understand, is Arabic for the act of covering. So when they're covered, that's what they call the burqa. I can't remember exactly what the full thing is called. And if anyone can watch this video and actually knows it 100%, you can put it in the description. I have no problem with saying I might not 100% sure know the culture. I definitely respected their culture, though, because there are pros and cons to it. And despite what we look at as the people in the West, there is legitimate pros to the way they handle their lives. And I acknowledge the fact that there are pros to it. Now, like I said, there are cons too. And them cons definitely are pretty bad, but those pros are legit. For the fact that women have to be covered at all times, doesn't matter how hot it is. They're black, down all the time. Never wear. And it's very airy though, so they do get pretty cool. But yes, but for the most part, they have to be covered at all times, including foreigners, foreign women. They have to be covered too. Now, the only relaxing you get as a woman who wants to go over there, you are allowed to have, as a foreigner, you're allowed to have your hair out. That's about the only thing you get. Everything else, like this, down, has to be completely covered. And Arabic women, depending who their family is, they're allowed to have their hair down, but it's very rare that you'll see them with their hair down. Normally, they are at least covered, maybe not their face, but their head is covered at all times. So when you see a woman with her hair out, for the most part, they're a foreigner. They're not, very rare do you see, at least back then, very rare would you see an Arabic woman not have that on almost all times. So that is one of the realities of living over there. So the second thing, as I mentioned earlier, was the fact that social media, for the most part, is banned. So you can't go out, you can't do nothing with social media, even porn, for the most part. Porn was banned. Now, I was smart enough to have VPNs, so a few times where I had using it, I used a VPN. I got some of my friend Darius, I got him into VPNs. A lot of Americans who came over there over the years need a VPN, so because only even YouTube, certain videos on YouTube are banned also. I remember going over there and watching a particular series. When I got over there, I couldn't watch it anymore. Some videos were just cut out. So, like, that's the reality of their censorship. There are certain things they don't want showing in their culture, and unfortunately, it's reflected into their movies. When we were flying from Saudi Arabia to Dubai, in the mood, now those airplanes are really nice airplanes, especially the Emirates. United Emirates, of course, I love Emirates. They were showing movies, and one of the movies I remember watching back then was Deadpool. Deadpool was out, and I was watching Deadpool, and I remember, and I watched the movie already, so I'm watching it, and I remember some of the parts where he has to, some of this crazy stuff, and all of it was cut out, all of it, like absolutely every single bit of it. Wonder Woman, same thing. Wonder Woman, when she's going through the no man's land, all her legs, all of it's covered, all of it's blurred out, and some of the scenes, they were just cut out completely. So that's the reality over there. Like, reality is that's how they live their lives, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now they have been getting a lot more open now, because I feel like it was inevitable with social media. Eventually, some people are going to look at that and say, all right, we want to have some fun too, like all these other people are having. So that's what they ended up doing. So it's a very big deal. The other parts of it was, about the marriage. The fact that one man can be married to multiple wives. There is a check now, despite what people don't realize, there is a checks and balance to this. And this is one of the things, as much as I might not agree all the way with their culture, I respect about their culture, because there is a give and take to women not having their rights, but also not having responsibility. And that's the difference. That's what people don't get when they're over here. People accept and think they have rights, but don't ever want to take responsibility of those rights. Over there, women must, like, there's a number of things. So one, men can have as many wives as they want. However, that man is legally obligated to take care of each one of those wives. Those wives don't have to do anything. They can sit around and do nothing, and it's up to that man to do what he needs to do. Now, yeah, he can shut off marriage by saying no Sharia law of just saying, look, we're divorced, 3 times and can be divorced. Yes, that's true. But at the end of the day, that woman has no responsibilities. All her only responsibility is to take care of that man and have babies. That is it. And that's the only thing that is obligated by them. And that, once again, is pros and cons, because now there are some women, and I've met over there, who are so well taken care of, they don't want to work. I've never seen so many red bottoms, Gucci purses. I haven't seen some Supreme at one point. Those girls are taken care of. They're probably getting stuff that girls over here wish they could get from somebody. I can almost guarantee it. And you can see the happiness, the fact they can go shopping and get whatever they want, whatever that guy wants to give her, she's going to get, regardless if it's yes or no. Like, it's a pro at the end of the day. Some women don't want to have to work. So yeah, you might not have responsibility, you might not have rights, but the flip side of it is your whole life is taken care of. Like, legitimately, your whole life is taken care of. So that is the pros and cons that I saw and I recognize. It's like, okay, I get it. There's some women who absolutely love this and some women who don't like it. I have some friends who, in the other side of that category, who don't like it. And unfortunately, they have to deal with the discrimination they have to deal with as a woman, over there. She has to deal with discrimination. She's constantly doing it. So that is a reality. Once again, pros and cons. Now, the second thing is the fact that even when you're married, the woman must ask the men permission to go to work. So yeah, for her to work and be independent, she must get permission of her husband. However, all the money she makes is hers and hers alone. She does not have to put any of that money into that household. She's not obligated to buy any clothes for her kids. She's not obligated to buy and do anything. Taxes, any bills, unless she chooses to. She has no responsibilities to anything. It's still up to that man to pay for absolutely everything. So essentially, once again, pros and cons. The pro is you have to get his permission. But if you was to get his permission, all that money is your pocket money. It is not obligated to him or anyone else. It is yours. No, but like I said, the flip side with him is he is obligated to take care of you, regardless. If you're making 20 times what he's making, he's legally obligated to take care of you. Once again, that's the pros and cons. You can have your cake, but you have to have the responsibility of it all. And that's what the difference when it comes to men over there is. Like, it's heavy, unfortunately. There are times where, the top men have 3, 4, 5 wives. Our boss, our president, he had 3 wives. Now, he had 4 cars, but all guys aren't like that. And unfortunately, the realistic side of this is that single men are discriminated pretty hard over there. Like, single men have it hard. Not only, and this is one of the things I do want to shed a light on, is the fact that Arabic men have it pretty difficult because of the way they have grown up. A lot of them don't understand how to even communicate with women. They don't even know how to conversate. They have their knowledge when it comes to their comfort level of dealing with the opposite sex is completely foreign. Because I haven't gotten into this. Every single store, this is the third thing I'm gonna bring up, basically the big thing. Every store, every place, every building is separated between families and singles. Everyone's separated. So if you're not with the woman, you have to be in the singles. That's where I was. That's where I would go. Everywhere I would go to be singles. I have to go to the singles. I remember going to Applebee's, and they had a huge Applebee's building. And on the right side, no, this is your right. On this right side, there was a small singles area. So I went up the steps, and there were like 4 or 5 tables, and that was it. And we had one waiter. I remember me and my friend Mike. He was my last time I was there. We sat down. He gave us the menus. We did not see that waiter again for at least 15, 20 minutes. And we're wondering, like, we're up here by ourselves, and just like literally, we're literally put like in the side, like up here in the, like near an attic. We're like an attic, just sitting up there in like an attic. And then you see how busy it is down there, and we still have a waiter. But at the end of the day, That's what it is. Over there, if you're not single, I mean, if you don't have a woman with you, nah, it ain't pretty for you. It ain't gonna be pretty. That's just one of the realities of it. I am rambling a little bit when it comes to this video, but like I said, there is a lot I can go into. There's so much I can go into. This is just the culture, and we're talking about the parts of racism and discrimination that we faced over there. You know, like, and it dwarfs what happens here. And that's what people don't get. People think, oh, U.S. is the racist place in the world. Not even close. Not even close. Like, seriously, I hate it how people think they have it so bad here. Yes, there are things that need to be taken care of here, to be looked at a second glance, so we can make things better, because things can always be better. But don't get it twisted. You still have it the best in the United States. And that is a message to everyone who lives here. Because as I said to all the foreigners who would come over, I'll take you to Saudi Arabia and you won't last a month. I guarantee it. No one here will last a month in Saudi Arabia. Because not only do you have to deal with all that stuff we're also dealing with, you can't go to movies, you can't go to swimming pools, and all the places you're going out, having fun and showing out your individuality, all gone. Can't do none of it. You can't even go in the mall with shorts on. You're not even gonna go to the mall with shorts on. They'll take you out, which is what happened to one of my friends. We had shorts on because it's 105 degrees. Now this is the third year, and I'm jumping around a lot, but there's so much to talk about. Third year, my last year there, I basically knew how everything works. So when we're going to Al Reality Mall, which is the capital city, you know, it is a very big mall at this time. We go there, and my friend has shorts on, and it didn't occur to me, he can't be wearing shorts. We get there, I'm sorry, you can't come in here, you're wearing shorts. And I was like, because when he looked at me, I'm wearing my sweats like I always do. I always wear long sleeve and sweats when I go there. Because sure enough, if you have uncovered skin, nope, can't come in. That's how it works, and that's how things are. So unfortunately, I did go in there to go get him something, but that turned into a whole big issue that I don't know if I can go into this video. There's so much. I mean, I'm already almost 19 minutes in, so there's a lot to talk about. That's just one of the very few things. And I'll throw some quick ones out there, and maybe I'm making part 2 of this if you want. I don't know, but the other part of it is women couldn't drive. They still can't. Well, they just started driving about a year ago. Last year, when I was in Africa, when I was in Tunisia, that's when I saw the announcement that women finally got the right to drive. People here have it so good. Like, you don't get it. People will kill to come to the United States. And I watch some people just degrade the fact that while they're living here. You're degraded while you're living here. And that is what I can't do. I can't take it, because when I see how it is other countries, it's not just Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia is probably the worst of it all, but other countries, it's worse. I love the countries I've been to. Don't get me wrong, but compared to the United States, they have their problem, and they're just catching up to us. That's why everyone still looks up at us, looks up to us. That's why most of the world is following behind the United States footsteps, because they paved the way. At the end of the day, a lot of people here are too spoiled to see that. I'm just gonna stop there. Once again, there's too much. I have a lot of stories I can go into with the stories. There's a lot of stories I can go into. This is just a quick talk of just some of the very few things that is you have to deal with over there, and I have to deal with. Now, most of it didn't apply to me because I'm an introvert. I didn't want to talk to no one. I didn't want to see no one, and I stayed in my room all day and played games. So it didn't bother me. A lot of the foreigners who came over there, every single one of them, once they get to that airport, they all break down. Like, oh my God, I can't wait, I'm going home. Yes, I'm going home. Like the drive home, you can see them. They're like kids, ready to go home to that big fat. They're going to Disneyland. Seriously, that's what it looks like to them, because they have been deprived of alcohol. You can't drink. Drinking is banned. If they do smoke, marijuana is banned. Cigarettes are basically banned. You have to go under the table to buy cigarettes. Hashish, which is what their marijuana equivalent is over there, that's banned. Like, those things are banned. You can't do that. You're drinking sodas all day. I hope you guys may found this informative. I know I'm very animated, but there's a lot to that. There's a lot to that culture. There's a lot to cultures around the world. And I wish people understood that side of culture before they spill some of their stupid opinions I'm hearing. I'm sorry, they're stupid opinions, because it all comes down to the fact that you're living here. You don't know how bad it gets. Like everyone say, oh, it's horrible. No, you don't. You don't get it. You don't get it. Look at Lebanon when they were about to be attacked. That's what they doing over there. That's bad. Not, once again, not saying that it's good what's going on right now, but legitimately, we have it good over here. No wars. No one's in danger. No one, minus the problems we have here when it comes to outside adversaries like they deal with. We never, what was the last time we even thought about a war? 9/11 was the worst thing we ever had. 9/11. Not saying that's not bad, it was. But 9/11 is the worst. Like, really, just think about that. 9/11 is the worst attack we had in American soil. We lost about, I'll be honest, about 5,000 people. In the grand scheme of war, really? Those guys are losing thousands a day, a month. We lose it once, and people are panicking. Once again, not discounting all the lives we lost that day. But the reality is, those people in those countries deal with it every day. Lebanon, I can't even, since I went to Lebanon to now, I've heard at least 7 terrorist attacks, at least 7. And that's what, in 4 years? And everyone, I'm sure you guys remember the attack that happened this summer. That's what they deal with over there. Have we seen a bomb like that go off in the United States? No. Anyway, I know, once again, I know I'm being animated, but I'm very serious. We need to understand that, yes, there are problems here. Always problems everywhere. But have perspective, because despite how everyone thinks it's bad over here, people are still trying to kill themselves to get over here because they understand. When I was in Tunisia, once again, I'm going to talk about Tunisia, but I'll talk about it in a later video. Okay, I'm going to stop because, once again, I'm getting too excited and I'm just, once again, I'm passionate about it because I know how it is. So, once again, anyway, we're going to end. Thank you guys for sticking with me for this. I don't know however long this video is going to end up being because I'm going to be editing it. And Control-Delete and blaze that trail, guys. We need to blaze that trail.